This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Alright, so, what exactly happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him.
Where does the ray come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Alright. I will have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
So, I'm, what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside, in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room? A closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Alright. Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Huh. So could there have been another point of origin? Further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Yes.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
Alright, and more precisely...
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Alright, let's start with the furthest one away, the islet.
1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Alright, let's have a look at a closer point. Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions.
Oh.
Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Alright, fine. The boardwalk.
700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Hey, Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime the boardwalk, B double prime Land's End, B triple prime the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Well, it's much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Alright, if you say so. I will inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
I see. Well, I think it's time for me to blink. There we go.
It's you again. What is it?
Hello again. Well, I talked to Classy. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
Because she's your real leader.
You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off!
Look, a civil war is brewing, and the only way to prevent it is to solve the murder. That means talking to Ruby.
Sounds like you wanna push this steaming pile of shit on anyone. And now you pick Ruby. Well, not on my watch you won't. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking. Near the stage there.
She didn't, go to the toilet?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
So you do agree the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
Well, there's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
Yes, we have a ballistics lab in Quran we consult in cases like these.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb?
There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof.
How?
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
And from there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step right outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints. Recent.
The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
Yep, they were recent.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
There were prints there with horizontal lines.
Horizontal? I see they taught you well in your RCM school. My old man, a hunter and a half-blind one at it, could have said that. Horizontal lines. Good news is, I'm still listening.
He knows they had to be recent for those lines to still read. This wasn't a failure.
Hey, remember that key I found here?
I don't like guessing, Cobb. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
He didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
She could have made a copy.
And then put it back. Why? It's damn interesting you found it there. But it doesn't fit with Ruby. And you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it.
Have you noticed the winch out back? On the outer wall of the whirling?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's one mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
Well, there were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Just making an observation. Let's move on.
He makes a gruff gesture for you to continue.
So, have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly? Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
Well, I've already established Ruby's running drugs. She could have smuggled guns, too.
God damn. That's just about your favorite topic, isn't it? Every fucking 5 seconds.
you were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Fine, Titus, I'm not getting into it, if it touches on your precious business.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to a gun. That still doesn't mean she did.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
I've analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed.
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your everyone has a gun theory. If it was military grade, how'd Ruby get it?
You don't know. Just be honest.
Look, I'm just being upfront with what I know.
Right. That's mighty forthcoming of you. So, let me extend you the same courtesy. She's connected to you know what.
Organized crime. Down in Jamrock, probably. He's not being too forthcoming. This is not a surprise.
So she may have access to semi-automatics, but that's a long fucking stretch of the imagination.
Well, the local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her.
You lost your gun?
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? You didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
Alright, fine. I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
I don't know, Cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, A fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Alright, Eugene. Let's assume you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Right. Now, would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardie Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Another thing. When Clancy came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know that something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Or she knew what happened because she killed him.
Not so useful.
You know, Clancy told me some pretty interesting things about Ruby.
Yeah. Like what?
That she had a thing for Clancy.
A thing? You mean?
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
Come on, guys. She hangs out with you meatheads. This cannot come as a surprise.
Yeah? No. Ruby's got more balls in a ball pit. You'd have to be an idiot not to... Guys, I'm not the only one who knew. Right?
Knew what? First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Clancy said she made advances on her, and that she thwarted them.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
She just told us. Ruby made her scared and she spilled the beans.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret, now that I start thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a Hardie. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit...
And then, boss, use us to cover it up? I mean, that's just fucked up.
If it's true. But it's not. Right?
Maybe it's all part of the leadership challenge. Against you, Titus.
There's no fucking leadership challenge. Just when I thought you were taking this seriously, cop, you put your head in your ass.
Man, now he's just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks.
Okay. We ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion. Remember, all we need to do is rule Ruby out too. That's all this is.
Right. Look, at the end of the day, Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up here. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want.
Go on.
I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why is that, Titus?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's doing this looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
So she didn't go to tell Evron.
No one goes to tell Evrard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Huh. Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a Hardie candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
And when did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
So, what exactly was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me? Like, me personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head.
Sure. Normal. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
Oh. So what else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Won't stop what?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock.
Oh.
That you're a human can opener. That you play suspects against each other. Open them up. Like cans.
Really? Me?
And then when they're all empty, just move on to the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it. Whack him. Or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Do you think that's true, Kim? That I'm a can opener?
You are insistent.
Huh. Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught he. But she was too scared.
Scared? You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies?
The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies and a pale something. I don't know more.
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
So, can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
I see. Well, it's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
Oh. Well, that's the end of that then. Now we go and find Ruby.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah? And?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Anything struck you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, I mean, the footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the All Souls prints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
And so far, no one has mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardie and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
The bullet was jacketed. These don't just fly around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days. But do continue.
The bullet turned out to be from an antique? It was an antique?
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis and then hand-waved it.
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Alright, thank you, Brain, but I think I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that.
What?
Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
Alright, fair enough.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, how's it going?
No. Just no. This guy has amazing willpower. Honestly, he's the only...
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man?
The hell?
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
What are you doing here all by yourself? Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
What do you mean gone? Gone where?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent.
Oh. How did he die?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Oh.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
Do you think our conversation about his job pushed him to go out there?
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
Huh. Well, still, I mean, was he really that bad?
I repeat, an absolute cunt. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to.
I see. Did you love him?
We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were?
I don't know. Something mean?
In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me.
Huh.
He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that.
Here, something to remember your friends by.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Anyways, my sincerest of condolences to you.
Yes. We are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
It's a shame that René's gone. I was hoping to ask him about Maybells.
René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies.
Wait, what do you mean Insulindian lilies?
That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much.
Oh, I see. And why didn't he like them?
There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the bells of revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore.
I see. Well, goodbye for now, sir. You hang in there.
Your race descent has temporarily halted, but you will fall again.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Hey, Measurehead, I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races there are.
Do you?
This is for the thing.
What thing? We already got in the harbor. You just want to hear about races, don't you?
No, it's...
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself. There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on?
Let's start from the bottom. The vile CF race cauldron of pederasty, please.
I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need to first learn about Type A and B to appreciate the depravity of the chimeric races.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just won't make any sense.
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Alright, well in that case, let's start from the top. Type A, please.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals. Excluding the Maun, of course.
Oh, of course.
The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile.
Really?
They are all lactose intolerant.
Oh.
A common result of inbreeding.
Oh.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Alright, got it. Who are Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
And who are these Seminese and Areopagites in this?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent.
And what's the difference between the Seminese and Areopagites?
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls. The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
Nature was not capable of more.
I see. Alright, tell me about Type B.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholiers, they are mud-colored people.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yuko, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Interesting. You said Koikos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al-Rul and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb, and for eating potato.
Oh. Those damn potatoes.
The Koiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
So you don't like ethnostates, then?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla. Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos.
And the Vachelaires you mentioned?
The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. Two mixed to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
Pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespius.
So, what was this revolution?
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an illness, a prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Koiko to the Occidentals. But not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant.
Right.
Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
Alright. Can we now move on to the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty?
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
Chimeric experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Semenese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I've misunderstood something, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring?
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
I see. Any more?
Then there is the Seminokoiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Seminokoiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yes, I think I'm ready.
The Koiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Semenes with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Semene strength and great servility. This will never happen. The Semenes and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Semenese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Koiko woman, or Koika. But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
No. So, now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
So, how do I word the mystery?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
I see. Alright, well, in that case, let's discuss something else.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
No. See you later.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table. Take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it.
Exactly.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though.
Yeah. It's needed for work and all that.
Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
Of course.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
But why am I looking at this wall?
Because you see it, finally.
Oh.
This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors.
Whoa.
All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God.
More.
Oh, Wallfather.
Kim, I must paint this wall and add even more beauty to it.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
Look, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty.
Sure.
I must talk to Cindy. Get the necessary materials from her.
If you must.
I must.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
So, Cindy, I need some paint, and your brush too.
What for?
I'm doing renovation. It's boring, but necessary.
But boring. You're not using my lovely brush to spread boredom.
Alright, fine, you got me. It's for art, okay?
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about?
To be honest, I haven't really thought of anything yet, but I'm sure I will.
Then you have time to find your own fucking brush.
To crush a man's dreams like that. I hope you're happy.
There, Piggy. I guess art just isn't really you. 'Cause you suck. In life and in everything.
This isn't over. Not by a long shot.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
They do say the painter always paints his own portrait.
Really? That's kind of lame.
No, it's great.
Alright, sure. Hey, I'm gonna paint a self-portrait, but sort of, you know, from the inside, to show people what it's like.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo.
What if I had some interpretive dance?
I think everyone would rather you didn't.
Alright, I won't, but can you please give me some paint and a brush? I need to do some art.
You're a real sad sack. You know that? Go ahead then. Art it up. Just try not to hurt yourself. And no self-portraits.
Alright. Thanks, Cindy.
Oh, but I'm all out of fuel oil.
You know what you should be able to find in your government-issued vehicle? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil.
Can't I just use paint?
Are you kidding me? Fuel oil is so much cooler. No way you're disfiguring that beautiful wall with something as pedestrian as ordinary paint.
Yeah, fair point. Hey, Kim. My friend. Would you be willing to sacrifice some of your fuel oil for art?
My fuel oil is for my kinema. Use your own fuel if you are unable to contain your artistic impulses, but please, leave my kinema out of it.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Hey, have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Alright, but do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
Look, this is just like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out.
No, it's not like that, man. With him we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
I see. So you know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Could it really be that simple? I doubt it, but it's worth taking... Oh?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Huh. I will move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
I will search through the sand and sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
Oh, so this bullet isn't for a breech loader like the murder weapon.
The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with.
So it would seem. Interesting. 9mm bullet hidden underneath the floorboards. What could that possibly mean?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Ma'am, can you tell me why there was a bullet under the floorboards of my shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
So you rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
And, when was this? Before I came here, hopefully.
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry.
Huh.
What has she gotten herself into? That girl.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
And is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
So why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I have a possible explanation in my mind.
Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
You know, the world.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
Oh? What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
Oh.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Now, I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
So where'd she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Well, further up the coast we go then.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
The Feld electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
You know what? I feel like I should, yes.
One thing, officer.
Oh.
If you do find her, please go easy on her. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
We'll see.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freighter. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joan? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Good point. What about the campfire? Maybe it was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Yeah.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender. Smoking, drinking, being happy and elated. Without you. Because you're here, freezing in the wind, aren't you? Doing your detective work.
Right. Well, there we go.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says,
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Huh. So, could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
But why single out this one building?
Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead. No rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
So what was I even attempting to do here?
Trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
She could be anywhere, Kim. How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least.
Yeah.
And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know
Sure.
it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too.
No, I understand.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
And if that fails, if we don't find her?
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
Alright. If you say so. Let's ask around.
Hello again.
Hey, I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
Alright, well. Thank you for your time.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is it with you and those waves?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me. But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Well, I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days. She might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
That's alright. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Be seeing you. Huh. I thought if anyone would know about Ruby, it would have been her, but we got unlucky there.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Hello, boys. Have you seen any bad people around?
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is going to crack the case.
Alright, well, I'm running out of potential witnesses here, so gotta do what you gotta do.
Hard cop.
Hello? Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Well, I suppose that's a good sign. No neighbors to complain about noise when you get the club going.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Sure.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Test your limits. Surpass them. Dance till you drop. Dance till you die, if you must.
You know, it feels unfair. There's a party everywhere.
Your conceptualization accepts this in solemn admiration and gratitude.
Thank you. Alright. No questions about Ruby, though.
Oh, the god of dance is back! Goodbye!
Okay. Let's ask Suna, then.
Yes, what is it?
Hey, have you seen anyone suspicious? A woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
Well, now I don't know what to do.
Hello, mister.
Hello, Lily. Do you know anyone named Ruby?
Ruby. Ruby.
Huh?
My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then Uller.
Kids.
Oh.
Bye!
Goodbye.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall.
No, it can't be. Let me... Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it.
It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron.
Oh.
How disappointing.
Oh. Can't believe it.
Right? You'll have better luck next time, though. The phasmid, finding it is your destiny.
I suppose we'll just have to give the dream of discovering the Insulindian phasmid a rest. For now.
Time's cold, Abigail.
Hey there, friend. Have you seen any women around here lately?
Abigail? Abigail, where are you? Time cold.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness anyway.
Yeah, you're right. I just wanted to be thorough.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
What do you mean? I can't see anything interesting.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What is this about?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Oh. Well, now you got me all paranoid. Is there something hidden in here?
The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Well, I looked around everywhere, around this place, and asked everyone here. Still got nothing, so...
Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it.
Oh. Where does it go?
In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
Kim, I think she's down there. Below this building.
Okay. Why?
Well, think about it. We've looked everywhere else.
Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Well, there's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb it, enter through the roof?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the ladder fails.
Something to break, huh? I do like the sound of that. Something like this?
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the fell building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions. Perhaps a basement access.
I will come closer and look in.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there?
An ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness.
Alright, fine, but what else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
And?
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Hey, you think we could get into the fell building through this pipe, Kim?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
The lieutenant's face lights up. He doesn't usually notice these little things.
And it's right here, a maintenance door.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one. Oh yeah, big boy time. This needs you to put your back into it.
Alright, here we go.
You and the lieutenant lean all your weight into pushing the doors apart, but you're not quite synchronizing your efforts. They slam shut again before you can enter.
Oh.
Let's take a breather and try this again later. It's very tough.
Alright. Well, we don't have time to retry things. So let's just go back to the ladder. Unless there's another entrance. Another entrance, maybe? Nah, I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Alright, ladder. Let's see what we got here. There we go.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
I will assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp.
Ooh.
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
Sounds about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder, instead What if you were to do something more subtle?
I'm listening.
What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded about this. Yeah, because falling from that height seems, well, splat. So don't do that. Just, you know.
Alright, well, what if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Come on, Kim. Where's your adventurous spirit?
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here.
Still, it won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Alright, stand back. Kim, watch this.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear. Your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Haha, I did it, Kim. I teleported.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Alright, man, you got it. This shouldn't take long. Central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. Nice. Stones fall. It's a long way down. Alright. Here we go. Well, we did it. I mean, obviously I would have preferred using the secret door to the basement, but we don't have time for that, so we're doing this. Let's covered with grime and dust. I can barely see out. Alright. Oh. Oh. It's just a postcard. Nothing to worry about, folks. Just a postcard. Alright. Oh. I should take out my flashlight. Alright. Say no more. This collapse nearly sealed the basement. One can barely squeeze by. Antiquated office furniture. Last century, maybe. Brought down and forgotten. So long ago. This overturned table is covered in orange mildew, crawling with something. Oh!
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
Hey, who's there?
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
Oh, alright.
It's much easier from this side. The panels on the rails slide once you dust the sand off. With the help of your partner, from the other side, the doors open with a creak.
Uh-huh.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
You ready?
Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
Not running is a great way to do that.
Alright, fine. I get the message. I'm gonna walk very slowly. Old file folders in the carts. Documents silvery with mold. What is this here, then? Whoa. What? This is a secret... Oh. What? This is where I came from? Oh, I guess this is where I came from. Never mind then. Alright. Slowly creep in. I mean, I'm thinking that the flashlight is gonna give me away, but sure. Series of thick, dusty panes of glass.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components.
These are computer components.
Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system.
And how do they do that? And why?
The how was a closely guarded secret.
Oh.
Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know.
I see.
The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced.
Hey, Kim, look. Old cybernetics.
So it is. I think these used to form a single system, slotted in the wall.
Could this be part of the failed playback experiment?
These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find a device here. You will be disappointed.
All you will find here is pain.
So this is all that remains of failed R&D.
The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean.
Yeah. Ooh. Inter-isolary suit jacket. Which gives +1 to suggestion. But, I mean, it doesn't have piss faggot on the back of it, so it's really hard to compete. In the beam of the flashlight, a crevice in the wall. Interesting. Oh? Revolutionary hat. Stale fabric, smell and dust. No one slept here in months, maybe years. +1 to Mazovian socioeconomics. I am a sucker for Ushankas, but it doesn't really fit the aesthetic that I've gotten for myself here. So it's gonna be a pass. Revolutionary propaganda on the bunk bed, ancient flyers and brochures. Pots, plates full of dust and spiderwebs. The same slit window I saw from the outside. I knew it.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Hey, it's Kraz Mazov. What a troublemaker he was.
Yes. Looks like some latter-day radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
A long time ago? How long?
Half a century. This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Could it be connected to the Mazov bus we found in the students' room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Well, could someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Yeah, I think so too. I'll brush the dust off the portrait.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Alright, let's get out of here, please. Through the crevice. I don't know how to get out now. Oh?
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of.
Alright, let's peek out.
Outside the window, desolation. Snow falls softly onto the coastal sand, where it melts almost instantly. On rooftops, it lingers.
Hey, you think the killer could have used this as a hideout?
It's a great place to hide. And Masovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive. But there hasn't been anyone here in ages.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can't even see the whirling in rags here. I don't think the shot came from here.
Indeed. No one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough. In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After you, officer.
Oh. Just like that, but we're not even done exploring here. There's stuff over there. So you think we should stop walking? It's not worth it? We should continue running? Because there's no one here? Blueprints in the sand. One of the souls appear to be more worn than the other. There we go. That's something. There's something in the air. An unnatural buzzing. Tunnel collapsed. I'll have to find another way around. Okay. It's getting louder. The buzzing sound.
There it is again. Like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Hey, Lieutenant. Do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
It's like a pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Yeah, I saw them too. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
What do you mean?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Well, how bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
Exactly. So, what do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Alright, I understand. But time is running short, so... the sooner we are done with this, the better. Oh, 40 reals. Is this the tunnel you're talking about? Feels strange.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to. Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
I'll cover my ears.
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
No.
Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations. It's the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
How'd you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
What's this goddamn pale anyway?
The pale? It's the end of the world.
Please, turn it off. I can't take it anymore.
You're big boys. You can handle it. Stop being so damn melodramatic.
On mattress.
Damn this.
God damn it. Fine, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Yeah? By hiding bullets under the floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
You're desperate, aren't you?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
When I threatened to arrest her, Clancy broke. She told me everything.
Oh. Well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor above all else. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus told me. It took some convincing.
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. And those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like.
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
Wasn't it you who called me the human can opener? It's not personal. I opened them up.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Pfft. Fuck them all the same.
I do it by asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
You have a gun.
And?
Where did you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jack's.
That doesn't sound like the name of a real store.
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
The breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Do you collect guns? Maybe old rifles?
No, they're not practical. Break too often.
There's other evidence I want to ask you about.
Yeah, evidence.
Do you have an alibi for when Lily was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
There were 10 minutes they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
There's a secret way from the first floor of the whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Do you like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
What's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Come in.
Is that the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
Would you say that Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
There's nothing more personal that you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me. And definitely not a reason to off someone.
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah, she wouldn't have had much trouble in the intimacy department.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I have other questions.
I'm listening.
Do you like Classy a lot?
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Is peeping one of your hobbies?
I'm not following your clever insinuations, Detective.
There's a hole in the wall. You can see into Classy's room. I wouldn't blame you if you...
If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls?
Classy looks like a girl in one of your posters. She seems to be your type.
What the fuck, man? She's everyone's type. She's your type. Are you sure you're not the one who was excited about the peephole?
She's beginning to suspect you've broken into her lorry now.
So you haven't been watching Classy through a hole in the wall?
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
You wanted to be more than just friends.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
She said you wanted to run. away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Clausy only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Wait. Classy said you only kissed.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Seriously, just move on.
So what happened then?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
And despite everything, you helped her by staging the lynching?
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
She said you got very angry when she started seeing Lily. Threatened her.
Yeah. One time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
There are other things I ask about.
Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Did you leave any flowers for Classy on the roof?
No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style.
These weren't just flowers. They... symbols of revolution.
So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on.
But Clancy was mourning.
I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too.
Okay, so you didn't leave Maybelle's.
No, I did not.
But you've been running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
No, he didn't. I found my own way in.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
There's a sinister note in her voice. Even with the gun and the compressor, she's afraid of you.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
What happened Sunday night? Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardie and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasya comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Classy said you knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Classy said you seem to have a plan prepared when you got there.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted out, but framed.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardie boys.
Classy knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise. She lied to you about that, too.
I don't believe you.
I really don't care which one of us you think was more at fault for the lynching. Neither of us killed him, though.
How can you be sure Classy didn't kill him herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
Who killed the merc, if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Clausia's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
So if you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop. That strange, distant fear is getting close now. It's a fear of yourself.
What do you mean, La Puta Madre agent?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Bullshit. You're trying to throw me off. No one says that.
Oh, yes, they do. The cops? The criminals? Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Tell me, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to la puta madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the take. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to know all about this, but I lost my memory recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
Who was in the squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally.
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
Do you know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
The commie hideout back there.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Here we go.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
You okay, Kim?
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
What are you doing?
Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
No, No, not like this.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options.
What options?
You know.
Maybe I can still talk her out of it?
This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives.
Please. Ruby, just walk away.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
You don't have to do this. You're not cornered. I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call.
I don't know. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I would have done the same had I not been incapacitated.
Well, what if we just let the murderer go?
I have a feeling we didn't. Her tent. We should check it out.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your Copo type.
Alright, go on. What am I?
Guess.
Cool cop.
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest.
What?
Let's make it official then, shall we?
What the fucking... They should be sorry.
Yes, yes. Impotent rage and lamentation. Let's wrap it up.
You know, actually, I'm not sorry. I changed my mind.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
No, I'm really not sorry. Fuck off.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then. Check out the big balls on fire, cop.
Yeah, damn right. To hell. Concrete pipe buried in sand and dust. There we go. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out. Oh! Some drumming. Cooking utensils. She's prepared herself porridge with bananas. Ooh, 8 reals. Alright.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out.
I will look inside.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
I will shine my flashlight on the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
Oh.
See anything?
I don't know. Let me sift through the magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
Oh, found a notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately. Like, right now.
Yep. Of course. Here we go.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
I will examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers.
Oh.
She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Nice. I will unwind the strap.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
I will study the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
I will flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Alright. Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
Anything about La Putra Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Alright, I will read the entry from March 9th.
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why, were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake. You didn't follow through. You should have shot her in the head.
No. This is a coincidence. I would never kill people for a mob boss.
The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking in your hand.
Alright. I will read the entry from March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
Alright, and what kinds of logistics are there?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Alright, and the diagrams? What are they of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Alright, what's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads,
Yes?
Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
If she didn't do it, then maybe it's good that we didn't catch her.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
Kim, do you think it's true? Am I really a La Putra Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting. His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Alright, well, who killed the merc then? Who do you think?
Claudia was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
But no one heard the shot.
Maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Alright then. Let's get to it.